Hello and welcome. My name is Michelle and I am your emotional resilience coach, and it is fantastic to have you here with me today. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you are just done with just spinning in your own life, not knowing what the next right step is, what to do, you are in the right place. That was my journey and I'm here to share it with you. I'm here to try and teach you to step into a more empowered way of living and being. If this resonates with you, please do hit like and subscribe and share with anyone that you feel this could change. This saved my life, and I'm hoping that this new way of being, this new way of thinking can help you save yours. All right, in the past I've spoken to you about getting comfortable with our own negative emotions, and that's really important. But today what I want to talk to you about is getting comfortable with other people's negative emotions. And this can be so hard, especially if you are a codependent. It is going to go against the grain of who you are. The reason why we don't get comfortable with it is because somewhere we've picked up the story that means we don't care, that means we don't love them very much, that means we are somehow cruel, mean-spirited, unkind. If we are in the presence of someone, we put the pressure on ourselves to make them happy. And this is something we learn from young. We kind of take that responsibility that I need to make you happy. I need to somehow be different, say something different, show up differently. And by doing that, we're giving our power over to them and we're saying, okay, well, I'm at your mercy. So in order for me to be happy, you need to be happy. So what do we need to do here? What do I need to do here to make that happen, to facilitate that? And we really put a lot of pressure on that other person. Depending on the person, they could either feel overwhelmed by that pressure, they could feel a little bit resentful by that pressure, or they could take advantage of that and really end up playing the puppet master over you and your day, because we've given that power over. Another thing that happens is that we tend to walk into very murky waters where we become really controlling and manipulative, where we put on the guilt. It's not fair and it shouldn't be like this, and why do you always have to be like this, and why do you have to put such a damper on the energy of the room, and why are you always so sour? And we get really into murky waters where again we're making them responsible for how we feel instead of giving them the space to just feel their feelings. Maybe it's really appropriate for them at that particular stage of their day, week, month. Maybe this is just where they are in their life right now and they don't know how to move out of it, all right? And us going at them is not going to help them move out of that space any quicker. In fact, if anything, what it does is it makes them feel pretty resentful about that pressure that we put on, be different, all right? And we do that because of how we are feeling. We want them to feel different because it will make us feel different. You're going to be different. You're going to be happy. My happiness depends upon your happiness. All right. Can you see that murky water that we're going into, that unfair territory? We can manipulate, especially if we've got children or spouses. We will say things like, why are you being like this? All right. Why are you doing this? And it is so hard because it is a knee-jerk reaction almost to how they're showing up. And what we can try and practice to do to take our power back is give them the space to do that, to be that. We can discuss it with them. We can obviously tell them how we're feeling. Perhaps we're concerned about where they are in their lives right now. Perhaps we're worried about the road they're walking down, that this is going to be a road that is going to be very difficult to come from. Of course, there are so many extenuating circumstances, but what we need to get comfortable with is ourselves. We need to get comfortable with their discomfort. For us to do that, to be comfortable with them being uncomfortable, moody, negative, upset, whatever emotion is that they're coming from, if we can do that, we can come from a place of love and compassion and strength and power, where we can say, I am sorry you are in this place. Is there something I can do to help you? Is there something that you want to talk about? Is there something we need to work through? Often, it's got nothing to do with you. Often, they are just working through their own stuff. They are struggling in their own journey. And what we can do is love them, support them, encourage them, and still hold space where we feel happy and content and peaceful within ourselves. One way we do that is to recognize how much power we have and to not get caught up in controlling the situation, not making ourselves responsible, not making it mean anything about us. That is something we often do. Well, there's obviously something wrong with me because you're showing up in this way. All right? A phrase that I love to use when dealing with people is so within as without. And what I mean by that is you can see by how they're showing up in life right now what is going on internally inside their heads, and we don't have control over that. We can't tell people what to think, what to feel, how to show up in the world. What we can do is hold the space for them and to listen to them and to know that we love them, to hold the space of no judgment, of just, I'm here, it's really tough what you're going through, I'm really sorry you're having this experience right now. What we often do is we feel it shouldn't be like this, and we resist it, and we fight, and we push against it. And the more we push against what is, they push against us because they're having a bad day. Don't fight with me. I'm really struggling. I'm fighting with me enough for me. I don't need you to come in and fight with me even more. I might not be the most pleasant person to be around right now, and I get that. But I'm struggling, right? This is what's actually going on in their subconscious. How it comes out, however, would be with aggression, maybe even passive-aggressive, snarky, sarcastic comments, a lot of resentment building up, a lot of, this is just not fair, like, give me my space. They might retreat, they might not want to be around you because you're putting pressure on them to be in a place that they're not ready to be in. And it could really cause a lot of friction in your relationships. It could make the dynamics really a bit sticky. So get comfortable with other people's discomfort. Don't make it mean anything about you. Don't go into the position of needing to fix, because that's when we control and that's when we manipulate. At the same time, as much as we're holding space for them and we want them to know that we love them and we care for them and we're compassionate about them, we also don't want to water ourselves down. And so what I mean by that is often there will be a situation where you'll go somewhere and somebody in the room, our brains are wired for this, our brains are wired to pick out the person who's not happy because we see them as being not safe somehow. And automatically we think, if they're not happy, perhaps it's something to do with me, especially if you are a fawn or a codependent, because that's where we feel we have control. And we think, okay, so if this person is not happy, it must mean something about me. And we go over and we try and fix. Or what we do is we do the opposite and we shut down, we reserve, we go quiet, we withdraw, we might even leave the situation because we feel somehow we are responsible for that person being unhappy. But that person being unhappy, they are responsible for it. It's what's going on in their minds, it's what's going on in their thoughts, and we have no control over that. So the other thing to look out for that we don't do, the trap that we don't fall into, is managing them by dimming ourselves, by watering ourselves down, by not being the best version of who we can be. And so how do we check in with that? What do we do? Just check in with yourself, what your energy is that you're putting out. Are you coming from a place of fear and desperation and adding to the mucky dysfunction that is going on? Or are you coming from a place of peace and love and safety and tranquility? Are you at a good place? Are you feeling grounded? Are you feeling solid? If that is what you're feeling, then you are coming from a place of strength. If they're not responding to that, that's okay. They don't have to. That's because of what is going on in their mind. All right? As soon as we are worried to the point of, I need to change what is going on with other people, we are losing our power. We're handing our power over to them and saying, my happiness, my peace, my equanimity, it's in your hands. So you need to be somehow different. And it just causes a lot of yucky tension. All right, if there's anything that you want to add, anything you want to say, please do leave a comment. Come over onto the Instagram page. I am the Emotional Resilience Coach there. Facebook, I've literally just started. Come over there, leave a comment, follow, like, let me know what your thoughts are, what you want to know. Tell me what you want to be coached on. Tell me a subject that is bugging you at this moment, and I'd love to cover it. Have a most fantastic day.